Okay, everyone, this is Oros here with Artemiis, and we're going to be recording a game on a Steam platform. It's called this. So it's interesting. We're going to get philosophical preconceptions here. Comments?
I have no clue what's going to happen. That's about my only comment. The end is never. The end is loading.
The end is
The
not.
end is never loading.
Okay.
The end that is never the end. Probably not, because I think the end...
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I want to be happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I like this narrator guy already. Gladys, what a dude.
Nothing.
Can you interact with anything that you see?
Not getting it yet.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I enter on the right?
Do it!
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to admire.
Okay. Oh, let's admire the lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
We're waiting. Nope, okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What if I don't? But I will.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
It's got a red button. Horace, it's got a red button.
Yeah. No, not now.
Not right now.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Wait, let's read
Feeling a
this.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I don't know how to not get fired.
Oh, sweet.
What do people want? Money, more money, things, but with money to buy.
Graphs about things and money.
You used them all.
I want to go in the broom closet. Oh.
Wait.
Oh, we can do things.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he
There's a
turned
broom.
around and got back on track.
I'll leave.
Yeah, I want the broom. Wait, can you take the lead pipe? Can you take anything? Wrench?
There was nothing here. No
Hey.
choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
I can
No
kill
reason to
myself, that's a
coming
choice.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Walking up the stairs and down the stairs. Back there.
Wait. Just go.
I want an office like this.
Yeah, mahogany. Ooh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
A government
What he could
holiday.
not have known
Maybe it's just
was that the
anime.
keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course,
Okay.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Wait. Keypad behind the desk.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
4-5.
The keypad.
It said behind the desk.
It did.
Wait.
2845.
Hey, I'm getting there.
We don't know where the keypad is.
Just having a little bit of spatial.
Wait.
spatial-
Maybe it's that door. Wait. Turn right. There.
Aha. 2, 8, 6. No.
No.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Wait, what? Oh, ooh.
Ooh.
Press that. Another red button. Wait, are there any other options? Man, now I feel like it's amnesia.
Just infinite darkness.
There are monsters in the darkness.
There are the monsters.
Whoa!
Correct, red button. Correct.
I think we just beat a level.
I think so.
Okay.
By following instructions to a T. Other than the part where we couldn't find a key.
That was understandable. Definitely said on the back of the desk or something like that.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Stanley is taking his first steps in the world as a philosopher.
He's growing up.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What?
Oh,
Um.
you.
Take a peek. You could just look to the side. Looks like a long hallway, though.
Long, dark hallway.
It might be an infinite hallway, or it might be a mirror. There might be booby traps. Just go get mind controlled.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, you're in the escape hallway.
Yeah.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Why not?
Do though.
That's
I hope.
true.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
He's not fired.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Power. There we go.
5. This is all that would impressive.
Idle. Awaiting.
I hit 5.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
What?
nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
What?
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Run?
All this means I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Yeah.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
Wait.
All right, I'm in a
Tell
good
us.
mood.
Keep going.
You're gonna die
Keep
anyway.
running.
I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not?
What?
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you.
Wait.
That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock,
wait,
Stanley.
what if you do
That's
your number?
30 seconds
Oh,
you
God.
have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No enemy. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your friend?
It's
Or
up
will
there.
you let it go
I think it's up
peacefully?
there.
Another choice. Make it count.
There's a one, there's a
Or
two.
don't.
No,
It's
no,
all
it's
the
back.
same
It's
to
up.
me.
It's
All
up.
part
It's
of
up.
the
It's
joke.
up the stairs.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your
late.
never
You
saw it already.
From the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
What?
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 Yeah. Not bad for pressing the on button.
What?
Oh,
Oh.
oh, Stanley.
All
Okay.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
no.
memo.
Go to the meeting room this time.
There's gotta be a way to okay.
Well,
When
because I
Stanley
hit the
came
on
to a
button,
set
not
of
the
two
off
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
button. Yeah, so it's
I
probably
think
just to hit
okay.
the off button.
No, here's what I think.
Yet there was
already
not
heard
a
this.
single person here
I
either.
think
Feeling
this
a
game
wave of disbelief,
is about finding a
Stanley
way to
decided to go
escape
up to his boss's
while not
office,
listening
hoping
to
he
the
might
dude's
find him
instructions.
coming to a
most
staircase.
of the time
Stanley
you listen to
walked
the dude's
upstairs to
instructions.
his
Don't
boss's
listen to
office.
them.
Finding out which ones you shouldn't have listened.
Or yeah.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay, clearly we can't rush.
I guess not.
Just calm down.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shoot for 2 levels this time.
Before random explosions kill us.
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't random.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. That seems like a pretty good point to not listen to him.
That's true.
It just had.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I see you thinking it. I'm thinking it too.
Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah. Yeah, nice bluff, buddy.
I don't know.
It's a long haul, Pat. What is possibly going to violently kill him at the end of this long haul?
There's a lot of things that could
Okay,
violently kill
I
you
take
at
that
the end of
back.
long hauls.
What could possibly kill him from a computer at the end of this? Well, doesn't make sense. Yeah, let's
Back pedal. Just pedal
But
all
of
the
course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Pat, I think he's bluffing.
Oh, fuck.
I think he's...
It's too late for that.
Yeah, apparently so.
Find out.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Our friend, or is he not?
I don't know.
I don't think he is, but he's telling us the way that doesn't get us killed.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
427 was alive! Hey, it's your office.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Three, maybe 5 buttons.
7. 4, 2, 5, 2. 5 plus 2 is 7.
That's not a bad idea.
Possible.
But let's just not.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to...
What?
Get cut off.
What?
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 blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Bastard!
And that was all he needed.
Making this so unsatisfying?
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Freedom if it's given to us by someone else.
I really don't think so. I think we need to find a 7.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation. the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I think we just lost. Hey, we got an achievement.
We just beat the game.
Left.
I want to know. You son of a bitch.
What? What?
What?
What? Okay, don't worry, guys. We're going back in. There is clearly much more to figure out with this game. It's just gonna take us some time.
Just a little bit.
We'll cut it right there, but we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Just stay tuned.